Oh, that's just not good enough. All of you ready? Yes. Yes, I think that's more of a welcoming. I like the gusto. Let's keep that going. With that, we move on to a very, very interesting session. It's a motivational keynote and will be delivered by someone who we've all come to know so well and love so well. Known world over for his roles on the silver screen, especially in the Munna Bhai series. Not sure how many of you know that he's also a great photographer. It's never too late to start. My journey, ups and downs, and the life story of Mr. Boman, Irani. May we have the video, please? Boman, Irani.
I can see more cameras than faces, I don't know. We'll do pictures, don't worry, we'll do pictures later on. We'll do pictures, darling, yeah. Only pictures, okay. Hi everyone, hi, lovely to be here. Thanks very much for having me. Okay, we're going to have a very boring session for about 1 hour, and then we'll do pictures. So, excited to be here, room full of people. Thank you, Shreya. Everyone, just come here, darling, come here. Come here. We'll do pictures later on, okay? Please turn around, face the crowd, give her a big hand. She's doing a wonderful job. I think she's doing a great job. Take a bow, take a bow. Take a bow. Open the skirt like that, yeah. Hi. So, great to be here. We'll have fun and games also, but sometimes I've been accused of being too naughty most of the time, though, so we'll be a little serious also, okay? That's why they're paying me. Okay, my name is Boman Irani, for those who don't know. It was a joke, you can laugh. And the timer has started. Oh, hell. There's a timer over here. Okay. So, Sandeep Bell, where are you? Sandeep? Present, sir. Please come and sit. No, Sandeep, you can't be standing over there. You get to see my worst side, my paunch side. You should go to sit over there. Shreya, you too. Sit down, no, darling. Sit down. Sandeep, we won't do pictures with you later on, okay? You know, I find it most fascinating when I am briefed about a conference. And Sandeep and his team have been briefing me and telling me all about the company and the HR summit and what have you. And I'll tell you, it's a load of bull. And I'll tell you why it's a load of bull. Don't put that on YouTube, huh? Sandeep's wife, I'll tell you why it's a load of bull. Because, you know, they've seen my presentation and they said, fine, and, you know, everything is okay. But the only reason why Sandeep comes to the room and talks so seriously is to ask me that one important question. So what's Deepika Padukone like? Finally, it boiled down to that. So to hell with all this and HR and the future and the next 6 months and what quarter and no, chodo yaar. Finally, it boiled down to, so what's Priyanka Chopra like? Deepika is that tall? Basically, he's asking me, her legs really that long. I tell you, my school friends, just like him, and we share the same college, Wadia College. The same thing. They're all very jealous of me, not because you know, I'm an actor. They're very happy for me, but they're jealous of me for this very reason. And the reason is, and guys, please cheer for me over here. The reason is because I get to act with the most beautiful women in the country. Look at that. Just look at that. Just look at that. But there's a catch. So don't get too upset, Sandeep, with me, because I get to act with all these beautiful women. The catch is that I only play their father. But, Daddy. Daddy gets the tightest hug always. Yeah, those stupid heroes, they do nothing these days. They're only interested in their damn six-packs. They do nothing. They don't touch the heroines anymore. Not anymore. They don't. Shah Rukh Khan, what does he do? Hug the girl, man. Hug the girl. He breaks their heart, and then who do they come running to? Me, Daddy. Yay! Once in my life, I got to play a romantic lead. I did. But don't be jealous again. Guess who they gave me? Farah Khan. Farah Khan. Even her own brother calls her his elder brother. Okay, that's that. Okay. So no, enough of jokes, okay? Please, get serious, please. Sandeep, don't mind, you know. He's such a sweet guy. Everybody here knows Sandeep? Yes or no? You made yourself out to be this hot shit of the company, man. And here everybody's saying, no, Sandeep. Sandeep, stand up, face the crowd. Come on, give him a big hand. Sandeep and I share a lot. He loves the movies. He loves the movies, and not the Deepika Padukone type. He loves Kurosawa and Kieslowski. You know? No wonder you ended up in this business, man. Okay, now serious, okay? Please, my time is running out. I'm very, very particular about time. Okay, so I'm going to run you through a story. It might get a little grim, but it's not, okay? It might sound grim, and I'm going to take you from a story from the day I was born till the day I signed my first movie, and after that we'll do a Q&A if you want to ask about movies and things like that. But this is my little life story, and what I need to say, it's not an exceptional story. And I'm sharing the story with you because, for some strange reason, it just seems to be, and seems to me, everybody's story. You will identify with my story. I do not stand here and talk to you as a film actor. I'm not. I'm talking to you as one of you, because everyone at every single peg and every single stage in my life, you will say, yeah, that happened to me. I did not climb Mount Everest on one lung, on one kidney or something like that. It's a simple story, and you guys will identify with it. And when you do, I'll ask you. I'm not going to hide anything from you. I'm no shame. I have no regrets, and I'm not ashamed of the things that I did or went through. So I'm wearing my heart out of my sleeve. So if I ask you if this happened to you, please put your hand up and say, yeah, it did happen to us too, right? So let's start in the year 1959. 1959, December. It was the year that I was born, 2nd of December, 1959. And my father passed away, not passed out. There was one school principal who actually on the annual day said, all the children who have passed away, please come here. God. Thankfully, she wasn't an English teacher, but anyway. So my father passed away in the May of 1959. So I was born posthumously, 6 months after my father passed. Now, it's not please don't feel sorry for me. Please, you're making such sad faces. It's not such a sad story. It gets worse, anyway. So, here we go. And I'm born into this world of women. Just like that. Women. Let's go into the live feed. And my mother, who almost died while giving me birth. 3 sisters who were older than me, of course. 5 Masis, 4 Chachis. A grandmother, no grandfather. So, all I knew was women. The neighbors' moms, my cousins, all girls. I did not know what a man sounded like till I was pretty big. And the first time the neighbor's dad walked into our house and, bellowed. That's the first time I heard the sound and the voice of a man. I wet my pants, and I was a very, very scared child. Added to that, I beg your pardon, added to that, I had a speech defect. Believe it or not, I had a speech defect. I was totla, as we say in Hindi. And on top of it, I spoke, can the camera go on my face? I spoke like virus, like this, and with a squeak. And there are so many classes in our school. And you all are giggling, right? So every time I opened my mouth as a child, people used to laugh. And I thought, and I was made to believe by the neighbor's mom, that I'm damaged goods. Here he is, this poor bichara Boman. They used to call me bichara Boman. Bichara Boman, bichara Boman, bichara, poor fellow, poor fellow. Why poor fellow? I'm healthy and I'm reasonably smart. But they kept saying, poor chap, poor chap, poor chap. And I had this lisp. And every time I speak, people used to laugh. And because people used to laugh, you know what I did? I never spoke. I never spoke. I never opened my mouth out of fear being derided and being made fun of. Because people made me feel, not my mom and my sisters, but made me feel I'm damaged goods. So much so that when I went for an interview to St. Mary's School, Mumbai, for getting into school, the principal, Father Molinet, he told my mom, you know, don't worry, Mrs. Irani, I know the circumstances in which this boy is born, and we'll just ask him, give him a couple of questions, and we'll get him in. No problem, no problem. So he put me on his lap, and he said, we'll show him a couple of photographs. He identifies them. It's just a formality. And there I was, and guess what he showed me? He showed me the photograph of a horse. Just like virus, okay? I actually used, people think I imitated Javed Akhtar Saab as virus. I did not. I did not. He asked me one day, after winning the Filmfare Award, we're in the loo. I give my award to my friend and say, I'm just coming, I'm in the loo, I'm facing the wall, and who's standing next to me? Javed Saab, who's come in with a trophy of his own. Oh, Boman, no, so nice to see you. Very good, very good. So, very good performance, very good performance. So tell me, Boman, by any chance, were you imitating me? So I said, no. Oh, you're not imitating me. Maybe you have not noticed. But I too have a lisp. Anyway, so Father Mohamed shows me a photograph of a horse. And guess what I do? What do? I don't answer. I refuse to answer because I'm afraid that he might think I'm bichara Boman and I'm stupid. And he'll laugh. So I thought in my little baby brain that this is the best thing to do. I didn't say a word. He's saying, no problem. No problem, Mrs. Irani. Mrs. Irani is pinching me in the bum. Bol. He takes out another photograph of a mouse. I said, Marga. I refuse to answer. I just refused to answer. And guess what? I did not get admission in St. Mary's School. Everybody, I'm sad. Yeah. Same. I'm bichara Boman. He didn't get it. And I'm in the taxi home, and my mom is like, why didn't you answer? Why? You know. I said, in my mind, I'm saying, I think I did the right thing. A week later, he calls up my mother, the father. And he says, you know, Mrs. Irani, we're educationists. And how very stupid of us. Which child doesn't know what a horse is? Come on. Something's wrong, and we're going to fix it. And he gave me admission in St. Mary's School a week later. What I have to say here is that's so very important. And we're talking about HR. I think this is the most classic example of HR that you'll ever see, when a principal is willing to admit that he made a mistake in picking out someone. He must have seen something else in me. He saw a disturbed child, and he gave me admission. That's HR for you, am I right? He backed the wrong horse. I'll tell you why. He backed the wrong horse because I was dyslexic, dyscalculic, dysgraphia, attention deficiency syndrome. And back in the 60s, there was a technical term for dyslexia, dysgraphia. What was it? Today we know what dyslexia is, right? Thanks to Amir Khan and Tare Zameen Par. I think he deserves a big hand for that. Really, he does. What was the technical term? Anybody? What is the technical term for dyslexia back in the 60s? Duffer. Duffer. ये तो डफर है, neighbor's mom. Duffer है. हाँ, नहीं, well, दुकान पे बिठा देना. Hey. But those are real problems. On top of it, I used to never open my mouth, which means that the teachers used to write remarks in my calendar calling me reticent. What the hell is reticent? What is a KG, when the first standard kid knows what reticent is? Reticent means he doesn't talk. He's quiet. And that's true. Till the 8th standard, when my mom sent me to a speech therapist with all my complications to correct my speech, that lady, a Parsi lady, who put marbles in my mouth like My Fair Lady. You've seen the movie My Fair Lady, and I swallowed some of them, of course. And finally, I was rid of my speech impediment and my defect. And I promise you, since that day till today, you give me a mic in my hand, I won't shut up for an hour and a half. Jo dar gaya, samjho mar gaya, Gabbar Singh ne bola tha, right? You know. I mean, all your fears are only within you. Anyway, I got to rush because this clock is driving me nuts. Okay. I passed out of school with a high second class. No, sorry, it was a low second class, a high third class, actually. Thanks to my learning disabilities. And I realized that I have to judge myself. I have to take stock of who I am and what I'm capable of doing. And in those days, there was just a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, and some hot new thing called chartered accountant. So I said, no, this stuff is not for me. Let me see what I can do best for myself. So I decided, and I read in the newspaper somewhere, there was a course. And what did I want to be? A waiter. I chose to be a waiter. That's good self-HR, right? I go and I tell my granny, Granny, I want to be a waiter. She says, great, wonderful. My granny came from Iran. She rode on a donkey from her little town in Nasrabad. And I'm not talking about biblical times. I'm talking about now, 80, 90 years ago. She rode on a donkey across the desert with my little dad in her arms and came to Mumbai, Bombay then, in a little sailboat, believe it or not. And my father was dying in her arms, and she said, you know, I did not know what to do with this little baby. What if the baby died? What am I supposed to do? Wait till we reach Bombay or throw him into the sea? These were the times that my grandparents lived, so there's a great amount of wisdom. Today when I come to these fancy hotels and people keep asking me, is your room okay? Was the flight okay? Oh, sure, it was okay, man. These are the places we've come from. These are my folks. And I asked my granny, I want to be a waiter. She's saying, you must be a waiter. Do what you think is right, but be the best damn waiter in the world. I joined a course, I became a waiter, and guess where I went? Taj Mahal, no less, always the best. Hey, ITC, sorry, I didn't mean it that way. Sorry, ITC guys, the best, ITC, best. Sorry, man, Pawan. Say hi to Pawan, everyone. Say hi, Pawan. Yeah. Oh, you won't feed me. So I go to Taj, and there it is, the manager over there, the GM, was a Parsi called Sam Phada. Everybody here knows who a Parsi is? No, please, I need to know this. It's very important. We are a dying community. We are a dying community, guys. Who doesn't know who a Parsi is? Put up your hand. Everybody knows who a Parsi is? You're liars, all of you. Parsis are the smallest community in the world. There are 72,000 Parsis left in the world. Do you know that? Only 72,000. The government wanted to give us the status of a tribe. A tribe with a spear. So the Parsi said no. And okay, the elders of the community come to me. They come to me and they ask me, I promise you, Boman, kuch karo. मैं क्या करूं? I've done my bit. I've got 2 boys. They just got a grandson 2 weeks ago. See, no, not that way. Kuch karo. Help out these kids. How can I help out youngsters? Do I go on their honeymoon and supervise? Good. I did my bit, guys. I did my... You know, all these conservationists, they go on and on. You know, glaciers are melting. Save the tiger. I say, damn the effing tiger. Save the Parsi, guys. We'll talk a little more about Parsis. I try to pepper it up with a little bit of fun. Otherwise, it's going to be a very boring session, trust me, listening to me about my life story. Anyway, so I go into Sam Bhada's office, and Sam Bhada says, so, which department you'd like to work in? Khadus. So I said, style me, mujhe, new word. Food and beverage. You see, the whole hotel business is about food and beverage, idiot. Which department? So I said, my deal in life is, you reach for the stars, you land on the treetops. So Taj Mahal, reach for the stars, somehow I'm there. And then I said, I'd like to work at the Rendezvous, the French restaurant, you know. Yeah, I like the idea of, you know, learning how to speak in French, you know, in the French. You know. So, Achha, you want to start at the top? It was the rooftop restaurant at the Taj Mahal Hotel. It was, and rendezvous means destination, right? So saying, okay, that's my destination. Hey, great, great. You idiot, go to room service. Go down in the basement, pay your dues, buddy, pay your dues. And I'll never forget that line, pay your dues. You just can't become Sandeep Bell overnight, you know. So I go into the room service and they give me a tray. The moment I walk out of the elevator on my first day of work, somebody sticks the tray in my hand, turns me around and kicks me into the elevator again and said, room 225. And I go around walking the length and breadth of Taj Mahal Hotel, serving tea, coffee, whatnot. Tea was 9 rupees a cup of tea in those days. 9 rupees. When Irani chai used to sell for 25 paise. They're still ripping us off from the Taj. And I go, and it was so fascinating that, you know, there was no money to be paid. People were just signing. Oh, wow, this is a wonderful world. And a lovely leather folder and all that. क्या बात है यार. हम लोग तो उडुपी रेस्टोरेंट में बड़ी शेप छोटी सी वाटी में ऐसा था छोटा सा बिल, you know. This was so fascinating. And this guy didn't sign. He decided to put money. So he put 5 rupees. So I said, sir, I'm sorry, it's 9 rupees. He's saying, that's a tip for you. I said, boy, Boman, welcome to the world of tips. I was so happy. I ran down, put 50 paise in a machine, and called up my mom. I said, Mom, I made my first $5. Normally people say I made my first million, but I made my first $5. I still have to make my first million anyway. Who am I fooling? Anyway, I put all my tips as much as I could into a little piggy bank, a real pink piggy bank. Okay? 2 years I did room service. I went to the coffee shop, Shamiana. From the coffee shop I went to the Apollo bar. And right next to the Apollo bar, finally, I got to work in my destination, the Rendezvous, the French restaurant. I was very happy. They gave me a coat and all, yay, with a bow tie. I felt wonderful. Mom called and said, you better come home. I said, what happened now? I met with an accident. You'll have to sit at the shop. We owned a shop. My father owned a shop. My mom used to run it when I was a kid, till that day. And I had to go to the shop, and my shop was called Golden Wafer Company. We used to fry potato chips, farsan, chivda, gathia, papdi, and all the other abuses in Gujarati. And sell them on a counter with the vegetable vendor's weighing scale. And I used to fill in the wafers without making too much crush. And I used to slap it on the weighing scale. And it was like a human weighing machine. And I felt very, very proud. I used to staple it, spin it, throw the money in the air. Like Tom Cruise in Cocktail. Yeah? Yeah? And I used to wear my vest and sometimes go and fry the chips with the big tawa. Throw them in the air. And I used to sweat and wear a bandana. And I thought chicks were watching. Nobody came. And that was my life. That was my life. And then the most beautiful woman in the world walked into my shop. My mother-in-law. Sir, खड़े हो जाओ, sir. You laughed most heartily, sir. Obviously, your wife is not here.
No, not here.
Are you married?
Yes.
You have some nerve, you know. You're recording that, you put it on YouTube, he'll be in trouble. Yeah? Happily married? How long? 11 years. Stop smiling, buddy, it gets worse. So here we are, and my mother-in-law brings in this girl, Zenobia, who I married, of course, you know that, right? And Zenobia used to come every day to the wafer shop, 100 grams. And every day she took 100 grams home. My father said, why are you bringing 100 grams of wafers home every day, right? So she stopped taking it home. She would eat a couple and then give the rest to a beggar at the end of the street, right? By the time we got married, we had a very fat beggar at the end of the street. Right. Oh, Zenobia. I want to show you sorry, this way. That's me on my Navjot day, and that's me even younger, petrified. That's my father in the photograph over there. Yeah, people say I look like him. It looks like Omar Sharif, actually. And that lady behind there, no, that's not my mother. And if that was my mother, I would be in serious trouble, you know. And that's my golden wafer company. That's my darling Zenobia, right? So on the left side, and the shop is no bigger than, this is too wide. From here to here, that was my life. And I got married at the age of 25. And before I turned 26, I became a father. Why were you rolling your eyes? You know the expression he made? I got married at the age of 25, and before I turned 26, I became a father. So he immediately said, 25. Tell the truth. You were calculating. You were calculating. I can promise, I can bet my bottom dollar that at least half of you, at least you dirty guys, were calculating. कैसे हो गया? 25 में, January में भी शादी किया होगा, तो you calculated, right? Who calculated? Who thought, तो फिर legal है कि illegal है? But you're a lady. See, you're very, very understanding. These guys have dirty minds, you know. I got married at the age of 25, January 28th, and on November 26th, Danish was born. Correct, huh? 9 months and 3 days at least. Even I'm calculating now. Anyway, so Danish was born. Sorry, this way, point this way. Yeah? Oh, that's my wedding day. Wow, that's me. Quickly turn it over before people say, what happened to you? That's my son, Danish, who has become a father 2 weeks ago. I'm a grandfather, guys. Three years later, Kaio was born. Look at him. And this was my life. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But I realized at that point of time that in a shopkeeper's life is 6.5 days of work. And you make enough money to have a decent life. And I realized, even though we had staff of 7 and we made the best chips in Mumbai, people used to find our shop with their noses where the smell would come of fresh wafers. And people used to line up to buy wafers. But we were not rich. And Let me tell you, I realized after 7 years of marriage that I had never taken my family out for a holiday outside of Mumbai. Never. And it hurt me. At the shop, I was Boman Seth. Boman Seth, comfy, very nice. Seth, good morning. Yeah, chalo, theek hai. Aaj kitna ho gaya? Kitna aloo aaya? Kitna ghee aaya? So I was a boss. In a world of your own, in a nice comfort zone, and comfort zones are not good. Not so good that I could not afford to take my family out for a holiday. I didn't have the time and didn't have the wherewithal. I didn't have the money. And I decided I need to take my family for a holiday. It was very, very important to me. And I looked up the yellow pages and the classifieds in the midday and whatnot. And it's expensive. It's expensive. So what did I do? I broke the piggy bank. You remember the piggy bank from the Taj? Yeah, I'm sorry I'll keep saying Taj. Don't feel offended, ITC guys, okay? I broke the piggy bank at the Taj, and guess what I did? I bought myself a camera because I knew there is somebody sitting inside here who's a creative person. I couldn't be a shopkeeper for the rest of my life. Not that I was ashamed of it, I was very proud of what I did, but I broke the piggy bank, bought a camera because there's a creative monkey sitting inside my stomach waiting to jump out. And I started taking photographs of school events. I loved sports and I loved photography. I combined the two, and I would take photographs of school events, cricket matches, cycling races, motocross events, where all the journalists would find not the time to go and cover these events. So I used to cover the event, I had to write a little article, and I used to supply it to the newspapers and sell pictures for 25 and 35 rupees to the mummies. Some of them didn't pay. They just smiled. And I, like a fool, just gave away those pictures. Anyway, so I collected a reasonable amount of money, and I decided to go on a holiday. Where to? Ooty. Wow, Ooty. We'll go to Ooty. So I booked a hotel, looked up the classifieds, and I called up a hotel that sounded good, Hotel Shoreham Palace. Wow, it sounded good. Grand Chola, sounds good. Shoreham Palace, yeah. And we booked a train. And we went, came by the Udyan to Bangalore, and then we took an ST bus, went to Ooty, got off the train, the bus, into a rickshaw. Coyote in front on the lap of the rickshaw driver, 3 of us and the bags on top of us, you know. So anyway, went up and I asked the rickshaw driver, Hotel Shoreham Palace. Style me bola, Shoreham Palace. I don't know. Oh, okay, I showed him the ad. He took me to the hotel, and when we got out of the hotel, of the rickshaw, it's like a shot, a tableau from a movie, a back shot, you know, backlighting, evening light, beautiful light, and the 4 of us are holding hands and staring at the hotel. Wow. Have you seen a Ramsay horror film? It looked like one of those bungalows in a Ramsay horror film. And I'm staring at that goddamn place. And my wife looks at me like that. You know, she doesn't talk too much in times like this. She just gives expressions. But I'm quick thinking, I'm an actor. At heart, I'm an actor, no? So I said, darling, it's like this because it's a heritage hotel. Come inside. They can't touch the exterior. Come inside, have a look. We went inside, and there it was, just like a Ramsay horror film set. We entered, and we went to this room with such a big lock. No swiping cards and all that crap, right? We go inside with the sound effects, And the old man opened the door. It was dark inside. So we go in there. I said, light? Light. Light. So the old man goes to the light. It was still dark. A light came on, guys. A light came on. It was a 0 number bulb. A 0 number bulb, and the room was still dark. And I said to myself, this is not happening, man. This is not what I wanted to do for my family. And I think all of us have struggled to do things for our family. And we continue to, and we'll continue till the day we die. And sometimes we fail at it, and that's fine. That's fine. Anybody's been through this? Wow, you got to pay these guys more, man. But that was a feeling. And at that point, and I have no shame in saying, darling, where are you all going? Girls, where are you all going? You all are flying. Who did your bookings? What time is your flight? What time is your flight? How dare you go? Don't leave me. 3 girls. There are only 7 in the auditorium and 3 are leaving. What the hell, man? Come here now, please. Just come here. Come here, all 3 of you. Come here. Don't put your bags down. I know you are going to leave anyway. You want a picture with me? Come on top. Come on top, sweetheart. But you really have a flight. You're not leaving me, right?
Not at all. We would not.
You delayed the flight? Who you think? You're Salman Khan or what? Darling, don't be selfish. You can't be just the 2 of us. You hold it over there. You want to hug me too? You want to hug me too?
This was the longest one.
You want to go too? Who's your daddy now? I'll read it later. Give it to me. It's not for me. You married? I'm so sorry then. Okay. I can't help it here. I'll see you. I'll miss you, girls. So we ended, and I started crying. And we did a group hug much before Dhoni and company learned how to do these huddles. We did a huddle, and I started crying. My wife is saying, "Why are you crying?" I said, "I can't handle it. I feel like a failure. My life is encapsulated by this 0 number bulb. It is. It was a 0 number bulb moment, and I think it's." Yeah, there's too much noise outside. Shreya, go and give them hell. It's a 0 number. I don't know how many of you have had a 0 number bulb moment in your life. It doesn't have to be a financial one. It could be an emotional one. Yeah, please put up your hands if you don't be ashamed. I'm not ashamed to say it. Well, everybody? Okay, that's good. Because if you haven't had it, I think it's good for you. You kick yourself in the backside and say, I've got to do something with my own life. And I came back to Mumbai and I decided that I want to be the best sports photographer in India. You reach for the stars, you land on the treetops, right? And I came to Mumbai. We had the most fantastic holiday after that. These are some of the sports photographs that I did, making. Now, we didn't stay in that hotel. I walked all around Ooty and found a hotel that was under construction, and they had only 2 rooms ready. And I said, we'll take it. She said, don't mind the noise. I said, no problem. And we took up a nicer, more decent place and stayed for less amount of days. And this is the best holiday I've ever had. We've traveled the world, the 7 seas, and the most fantastic hotels. But this I will cherish. You can see this little tummy I have over there? That's the little pouch I'm wearing inside with my little money. Yeah? Can you see that? This tummy is real, okay? Okay, I'm not making any pretense, but this tummy, I had carried all my savings, my piggy bank stuff is in there. All right. Anyway, so we come back home and I decided that the World Cup of boxing was coming to India. And the World Cup of boxing was the biggest event outside of any test match. In those days, there wasn't any big event that would be in the country. So I decided to go and meet the big boss, the president of the Indian Olympic Association for boxing, a Parsi, Aspi Adajania. I walk into his office and I say, good afternoon, sir. I'd like to be the official photographer of the World Cup. And you know what he said? What is this? I mean, what the hell, man? We don't need any photographers. We don't need official photographers. I said, what a rude guy, man. He said, we get all the photographs from our journalist friends. I said, okay. And I was completely deflated. And I was walking away, and I said, no. I said, come back. I went back and I said, fight. Don't ever give up. And I said, I'll wash your dishes, I'll make you coffee, I'll do your mail, I'll do your deliveries, I'll do ticketing. But after 6 months, when the World Cup comes to Mumbai, you will give me a badge that I can do ringside photographs, and I'll sell them. And I was very good at it. I was a very good sports photographer. He says, okay, we'll think about it, okay. And he said, okay, bye. I said, start walking away. He said, hey, come here. Yes, sir. Have you ever taken a photograph of a boxing match? I said, no. He said, then you have some cheek to walk into my office and tell me that you want to be the official photographer of the World Cup. Well, he's making a point, right? But I'm quick thinking, always, quick thinking, yeah. See, when those girls came, see how I made them feel, yeah. I said you got a point, but there's a Western India Boxing Association tournament that's coming up. I'll click some pictures, and I'll come and show them to you, all right? If you like them, good. If you don't, no problem. But I'll show you some pictures before you deny me a badge. With them style, I went and I started shooting the Western India Boxing tournament. It was the worst boxing you'll ever see in the whole world. The worst, guys with knobbly, thin knees, sniffing away. I don't know why boxers sniff. I said, what the hell am I going to do, man? Life gives you lemons. You're supposed to make lemonade. I wanted orange juice, but these guys are not going to give peanut juice, man. So I said, make the best of a bad situation. So if all the photographers were here, I would be somewhere else. Be different. Always be different. Look, in my stories, I'm not going to be preachy and tell you, this is what you should do and this is what you should take away from the story. You got to take away what you feel right, okay? If everybody was down here, I would be on the tarafa on top, taking top shots. Angles, under, make the best of a bad situation. And 2 weeks later, I walk into Aspi Adajani's office and I put an envelope on his table. And I'm breathing hard. I needed this job. He opened the envelope. He saw the pictures and said, Boman, these are the best bloody pictures I've seen, man. And then he opened a drawer, and he took out an envelope, and he gave it to me, and I opened it. And it said, you are the official photographer of the World Cup. I'm going to make an analogy here. This is great HR. The man was testing me. The man had a sense of vision. The man knew that this guy is going to come back with good pictures. How did he know? Great HR. Simple. Sometimes when we are out selling stuff, people are not buying the product. They're buying the man who's selling the product. They see the fire in your eyes. They see the fire in your belly. They look into your eyes and say, it means a lot to him. So, am I right? Yeah? It means a lot to him. And if he is willing to go that extra mile, extra God knows what, blood, sweat and tears, whatever it takes, then he's the man. And he went into the room and came out with a jacket, a photographer's jacket, with my name on it already, before he saw those photographs. Comes the World Cup, and this is the life-changing. I needed to make money out of photography if I was to move out of the shop, out of Golden Wafers, and do something on my own. He calls me and said, Bomsy. Suddenly we become Bomsy pals, okay? Bomsy, listen, there's a Norwegian team. They won 3 photographs. He's the only sponsored boxer. Norway has the only sponsored boxer, and you go and meet their manager. So I go to the Oberoi, not ITC, sorry again. We go to the Oberoi, this big guy, big pawns, sitting and looking like a lobster, and I ride the swimming pool, and he was a Norwegian guy, he's lying over there. Oh yeah, Mr. Irani, we want 3 photographs. We want 3, Norwegian guy. I'm doing a very bad accent, but it kind of works. We want 3 photographs. Huh? I said, okay, what kind of photographs? First photograph is our boxer. His name is Ola Klemitsin. You will remember the name Ola for me, please? Ola? Ola. Ola, who is fighting, and he punches the other guy like that. So I want this full high-powered action-packed photograph of Ola punching the opponent with spit and sweat and whatnot, and the other guy's face is, distorted, Can you do it? I said, sure, I can do it. Second picture, I want the other guy on the floor. I don't know how he was saying all this stuff. On the floor, knockout. And Ola is dancing on top of him, like that. Like Muhammad Ali, one of those pictures. Can you do it? I said, sure, I can do it. I said, on the third picture, the third picture, most important picture. Ola, after he knock out the other guy, he go to the corner and he bring the Indian flag and the Norwegian flag and he hold it in the air and you take a picture because it's part of our campaign. Okay. I said, this is great. Comes the day of the fight. I'm waiting there, ringside. A ring is square. I don't know why they call it a ring. Anyway, that's another story. I'm there, and Ola is in the ring versus a German guy. Like a Mushtunda German, man. And guess what happened? I'm waiting to make, I skipped a part. He asked me a very, very important question. As you can see, I'm very bad at business and numbers. I'm very bad at numbers. I don't remember my room number. You know this because you asked my room number and I have to keep referring to someone. I don't remember any numbers. So he asked me, so Mr. Irani, how much will you charge? I said, Marge. So he says, I didn't know what to say. What do you think I said? What do you think I should have said? What do you think I said? Come on, ladies, say something. Whatever you pay, why should I take whatever he pays? What if he gives me 5 rupees, Like I charge for pictures for taking selfies, 5 rupees per selfie. 500 per picture, I was charging 35, 500 per picture. Based on what? I didn't know the prices. So, he's run away, man. My fall guy ran away. Where are you, man? Okay, your turn now, baby. So, I didn't know what to say. So you're saying 500, somebody said, whatever you pay. I think that's bad business to just quote something when you don't know. You don't know, because I didn't want to come across looking unprofessional or didn't know what I was talking about. So we'll do some acting. So how much will you charge? Norwegian accent, bolo.
1,000.
Arey Baba, you ask me. Don't steal my line. You decided dialogue bhi likh liya. I'm giving you the line, you say it now, Baba. You have to say, how much will you charge? Okay.
How much will you charge?
Norwegian accent bolo. Mic ko aane do aapke paas. Okay. And action.
How much will you charge? Okay.
That's good. I said international rates. Today we are a little more conscious of, and we match stuff in the world. But back in the day, people were very embarrassed to charge international rates. Oh, he's taking the hot spot. Okay. Come, welcome, sir. Why should we charge less? And what another photographer from a different corner of the world is charging? Why should a Japanese guy be paid more than I? If it's worthy enough to get into an international magazine, you pay me the damn international rate, correct? Yeah, baby. So I have to go and confirm what the international rates are. So I go and meet a photographer, Sabi Fernandez from Times of India. And I say, sir, okay, you can go, no problem. Sabi Fernandez, anybody has got a flight, go right now. And I asked Sabi, I said, Sabi uncle, how much will I get for a photograph? And I want him to say a nice figure. He says, Boman, you're getting to give your pictures in an international magazine. Very good. I'm very proud of you. I said, sir, how much will I be paid? Tell me, sir. He was so happy for me. And he says, if the picture is good, you'll get $60 a picture. I'm in curry, man. $60. I said, $60? Wow. He says, okay, listen. If the pictures are really, really good and they really, really like them, then you can get up to $100 a picture. Sabi uncle, thank you. So 60 into 3 is 180. I can, itna to kar leta hu. And 100 into 3 is 300. Very good, smart. See, women are always smart. See the it came out like that. Yeah. Comes the day of the fight, okay? And here we have this German and this Norwegian, and they ting, ting, the fight goes. And guess what happens? I can see my $300 flying away because the German is hitting the shit out of Ole Clements. Tom, tum, tak, tum, tak. I'm saying, this is not happening to me. Guys, I need to make this money. I need to prove to myself I can run a family and provide for them through photography. Please, please. And they're dancing over here, and I'm down there, and I'm looking up. What? Come on, man. And they come dancing towards me. And they pose, literally. Kudrat. I don't know how this happened. You want something bad enough, it happens. You work for something bad enough, it happens. These are miracles. Walking on water is not the real miracle. These are miracles. You make your own miracles. Believe me. And these guys come over here, and guess what happens? Ole Clementson swings one. $60 in the pocket. Wow. I can't believe it. That shot happened. And then the German guy got dazed, and he landed like a ton of bricks on the ground, and this guy is dancing on top of him. I was ready with my little dinky camera. $120 in the pocket. I can't believe this is happening. And then, with mental telepathy, that idiot had forgotten about the flag. So I'm saying to him, oh, the flag, you Dumbo, go get the flag. So, like literally like, he goes to the corner and he gets out a flag, he waves it in the air, India and Norway flag, and 3 pictures. Took the pictures, I sprinted off. I went to someone's house, a guy used to work in a lab, got the pictures processed, 3 lovely pictures. Go to VSNL. You all know VSNL. And guess how many photos? There was a thing called radio photo in those days. You guys have not heard of it. You're far too young. Anybody grandfather here? No, right? But only the grandfathers in the room will know what radio photo is. So you went over there, and there was a huge scanner over there, like a bloody washing machine. Took an hour and a half to scan one picture, right? I'll tell you later the entire story. But and I go there, and he gives me a receipt. Aapka pauti leo, jao. Subah pahunchega. Wow, I said, wow. I mean, in 12 hours? He says, huh? I said, you don't have to courier it. Wow. How many scanners were there in Mumbai then? Including that one? 1. Okay. So I go home on my little scooter. And I go, and my wife is sitting on the steps of my old Parsi house. I come, see, how did it go? I said, I sent it by radio photo. And as we're entering my home, the phone rings, lamba ghanti. I said, international call. Wow. Hello? Oh, my name is Tri Sandabo. I am speaking from Norway. And is that Boman Irani? I said, yes. Your photographs? I said, yes. They have not arrived. I said, I'll call you back, sir. I had to make a trunk call. No money. I call up VSNL. I speak to that guy. This is my ticket number, मेरा पावती number ये है, वो है. हाँ, मेरे को याद है. वो picture ना 3 photo वो boxing वाला. बोला हाँ, नहीं भेजा. क्यों? नहीं वो क्या है ना वो scanner हमने Maldives भेज दिया. But I was there a few hours ago, man. हाँ वो क्या है ना वो chief minister का meeting था. Chief minister. I said पहले chief minister मत बोलो, chief minister बोलो. But I'm very, very angry now. I'm going desperate. I went on my scooty, went to VSNL and gave him the monologue of my life. I've never acted better. शर्म आनी चाहिए. हम हिंदुस्तानी एक काम नहीं कर सकते. हम एक undertaking लेते हैं तो पूरा करना चाहिए. And all that bullshit. He got damn scared. He said नहीं इधर ही है मैंने पैक करके रख दिया. कोई था नहीं सब लोग नाइट ड्यूटी पे चले जा रहे मैं पैक करके रख दूं. मतलब you don't take up a job if you can't bloody complete it. We removed the damn thing, plugged it in like a washing machine. And I was sitting over there and said साहब अब जाओ. Saying नहीं जाओ बाबा हवे में थोड़ी दिखेगा वो जा रहा है तुम जाओ ना. I come home at 6 o'clock in the morning, I think it was, 6 or 7 in the morning, after all this scanning bullshit. And my wife is sitting there, hoping, we can improve our lot. And she said, You know that same Ramsey expression. I said, darling, I don't know. I did my best. I did my best. Went inside. As we were entering, long ghanti. I go pick up the phone. Hello? Yeah. Triga Sanbo. I said, yes, Mr. Sanbo. The photographs. Yes. They have arrived. I said, thank God. What we undertook, we did. And the photographs are just great. Brought a smile to me. I'll never forget that moment. There's a sense of achievement, you know, when somebody just says some encouragement and affirmation. And that's what our business is all about, affirmation. Don't we all know that, guys? And he said, wonderful, thank you, thank you. I said, great. He's saying, Mr. Irani, and now the small matter of your payment. I'm saying, why do they say small matter? It's the only bloody matter, man. So how much will you charge? I said, I told the manager, international rates, you know. Okay. He put the phone on the side. Thank God I was not paying for the trunk call. He put the phone on the side and disappeared. He comes back after 3 or 4 minutes saying, I spoke to my team and they said, your pictures are wonderful, so we pay you. For 3 photographs? I said, 3 photographs are 180 or 300. 180 bhi chalega, kuch bhi chalega. For 3 photographs, we pay you $300. I said, thank you very much. So you go tomorrow and meet the manager and collect your $900. Mr. Irani? Mr. Irani? Huh? Are you unhappy? Is it okay? Yeah, take a picture. Mr. Irani, huh? Are you okay? Are you happy with the? Yeah, I'm happy with the amount. No problem. And I started doing the samba, man. My wife and I were dancing. I cannot tell you how happy I was. $900 for those 3 pictures. That's a miracle as far as I'm concerned. And thanks to all the people up till then, from Father Molinet to Sam Bhara, Taj, to Aspiyades and many more in between, who had faith. They had faith. And then I came to Chennai. 3 days after that, to shoot for MRF. The tires we race are the tires you buy. And I was the still photographer on that ad shoot campaign. And they had sponsored the boxing tournament. And that one thing led to another. I stayed back in Chennai for 3 months. And I worked in a photo studio over here as an assistant, made coffee, made deliveries, made bills, whatnot. And I had to learn how to shoot in a studio. And my wife would write me a letter every day, a 6-page letter, every day. Mostly about the maid who didn't turn up. I don't know if you all are familiar with the word dandy. Again, she's done dandy. I'm saying, why am I supposed to know all this? Anyway, one day she called and I was petrified. I said, what happened, sweetheart? She said, you know, Norway, that company sent a check of $900. I said, no, don't open it, don't lodge it in the bank. I don't know how this works, dollars and whatnot. Don't do all that. They've already paid, there's some mistake, some processes. I went back to Mumbai after 3 months and I said, show me the check. And there it was in dollars. Wow. I got that photograph, I should have had that photograph. And I said, $900. And I opened the advice. And I looked behind, and it said, $900 for the reusage of your photographs. Now, today the world is connected. Back then we were not. We didn't have a website. We had nothing. But to me, that's ethics and that's honesty. And I said, if this is the springboard that I start my career on, I will abide by these ethics and none other. And that's a promise I made to myself. Story doesn't end. Story doesn't end. They reuse the photograph one more time. They send me another $900 and another $900 and another $900 and another $900 and another $600. I couldn't believe the windfall. And I said, okay, this is the sign that I needed. I need to become a photographer. And I became a photographer. And I bought a hell of a lot of equipment from that money. And I had to put a down payment on a studio. And I borrowed a huge sum of money because I thought, I'm made. People are sending me $900 for 3 pictures. Ye to chalte rahega to I can now take my family to London. Aisa kuch nahi hua. For 2 years I had no clients. For 2 years I had no clients and I was paying interest upon interest. The interest would accumulate and make another capital. I was paying interest upon that capital. And my wife comes to me and says, don't worry, keep going, keep going. I said, well, how do we pay this? She said, sell off my wedding jewelry. And I have no shame in saying this, that I went with my wife to Zaveri Bazaar in Bombay and sold off her wedding jewelry. I stood outside like a bloody thief outside the shop, and I was crying from inside. I said, what is this, man? This is not what I had worked towards. He said, yeah, but you have to pay your dues, guys. You cannot think that, just because one client is paying you $900, everybody's going to do the same. You've got to pay your dues. You've got to make a reputation. And my wife comes on and said, what are you standing here for? I said, I'm really ashamed selling it. She said, come inside. Pretend that you're buying for me. Nobody knows that you're selling. The people on the street are wondering what you're doing outside. You look like a bloody thief. Come on in. And you'll come out of this, buddy, she said. I'll never forget that. You'll come out of this and buy me diamonds. And I'm paying for those damn diamonds till this very day, man. Something like this happened to you guys also? Oh, you lucky sods. Anyway, things started looking up. Okay, my time has run up, but I'm going to go on. Is it okay? Shut that damn timer. Just make sure, one more time. Is it okay? Shut that damn timer. Okay. And I became a photographer. That's Shabana Azmi there. That's Neha Dupia there. I used to shoot Miss Indias. I shot Diana Hayden for Miss World. I used to supply them their portfolios and they would go for Miss Photogenic with that portfolio. I made a name for myself. That's Irani Jairaj, Miss World, Nasruddin Shah, some of the boxing pictures. That's again a Miss India. That's my aunt in the corner, little artistic stuff. All right. And then one day, I think I'll take another 15 minutes, okay? Chalega na? Sandeep is unconvinced about this. Sandeep is okay now, Baba? Sangeeta, promise me. You will not scold me afterwards. I don't like ladies scolding me. I am married, you know what I mean. One day, this guy walks into my studio. Shamak Davar. Everybody here knows who Shamak Davar is? Yeah? Parsi. How do you know he's a Parsi? Because of his nose, right? All famous Parsis have noses, right? All of them. From the Tatas to the Sorabjis to everybody. Even Prince Charles is a Parsi, just by the way. Trust me. So Shamak Dhawan says, walks into my studio, he walks around and said, darling, you're going to be very famous. I said, what's wrong with this guy, man? You're going to, as a photographer? No, I don't know the photographer, but very famous. I said, this is for photographs, that's not one of mine. And he comes to me about 6 months later and says, let's go for lunch. I didn't have money to buy lunch before all this happened. I didn't have money to buy 7 rupee rice plate. I didn't have money to put in my scooter for petrol. The petrol used to get exhausted. I used to push the scooter home instead of going to a petrol pump. So, petrol pump idhar nahi, mera kachra bhara hai carburetor mein. I used to go home. This was my state. So Shamak decided to take me for lunch. And guess where he takes me? He takes me to meet another guy, Alec Padamsi. Now he's got a long nose, but he's not a Parsi. And he says, Shamak said, in the elevator to Alec's place, he says, Boman, you're an actor. Now that's great HR. You're an actor. Ask me. I said, how do you know? He doesn't know that ever since I'm a kid, I love the movies. And I always love acting. And I always love the magic of the films. He didn't know that. He says, you're a born actor. trust me. I'm going to make you audition. I said, no, Shamak, 200 rupees a show. I can't afford this. I can't. So he says, okay, sing a song. I said, somewhere over the rainbow. Very good, all in tune. Come on, let's go. I sang for Alec. I'm sitting there, I sang my whole song. I'm there, Shamak is there. He's looking at me and talking to Shamak. And I'm like, Shamak! I don't know why he's looking at me and talking to Shamak. Shamak, I have been... Alec walks like virus, huh? By the way, I stole Alec's walk. Like that. Shamak, I have been in this business for 40 years and I know talent when I see it. And this man has no talent. So I said, Shamak, oh darling, no, sit down. Alec, if you don't take him in your play, then I won't choreograph it. Okay, you got a part. Straight. And the first part I ever played on stage in an acting career was that of a pimp. He gave me the role of a pimp. Wow. And it was a long-running show. 3 hours. It ran for only 10 shows. It flopped. But that's not the point. The point is my mom, Parsi mom, would come for each and every show. So proud of me. So proud of me. She would go in the interval and ask all the other ladies, how do you like my son? How was my son? Who the hell is your son? Arey, the pimp, he's my son. Rahul Dikona comes and meets me after the show and says, I got a play for you. How many? I need 3 dates in December. 3 dates, we're doing an experimental play of 2 old men sitting on a park bench talking about old age. I said, 3 days, okay. 4 months rehearsal, okay, doesn't matter. It's a great play, all right. And I did this play called I'm Not Bajirao, all right. I don't know if you've seen it. I know you're all very young and all. I don't know what the hell is happening. But I did this play, and we rehearsed for 4 months, me and a Marathi stage actor called Sudhir Joshi. Great man. And he taught me a lot about acting. And I was supposed to be a 75-year-old man. So from a pimp to a 75-year-old man, I'm playing an old Parsi guy. And they'd taken only the experimental theater, 150-seater. 150-seater, 3 shows, 450 lifetime audience. Someone comes and says, don't release it in the experiment theater. Go for the big Tata theater, 1,200-seater. I say, you're crazy. It's about 2 old men talking about arthritis and all, you know, what's it called? Cataracts and their failed sex lives. And what the hell is this play all about? Say, no. Open it. For some strange reason, the play opened with a newcomer actor and Sudhir Joshi, newcomer in English theater. He was a doyen in Marathi theater. But nobody had heard of us. But the play, for some strange reason, opened to a full house of 1,200. And I tell you, people sense things. People sense reputations, even of companies. People know what's happening inside the glass tower of a company. It's a reputation which people have a sense of, believe it or not, all right? And we did this play. That's me on the left. We did this play. And it ran for 10 years. 10 years. The last show we did, was a houseful show. Tickets were being sold in black. This was a no-hope play that opened to a full house and continued till the last show, and then Sudhir Joshi had passed away, and that was it. I have not performed that play after that. And I'm saying to myself, nothing is too small. Nobody is too small. And if you pick up something and you take on the job, it will have a life of its own, and it's not too small to put your all into it. This is a little bit of preaching I'm doing, forgive me. Okay. I did this play. Feroz Khan of the theater comes and calls me, not Fardeen's father, Feroz Khan, from the theater, and says, I'm doing a play called Mahatma versus Gandhi, and I'd like you to act in it. Saying, so which part? He said, Mahatma Gandhi. I put down the phone. I said, you're nuts. I thought somebody's playing a prank on me. So he says, no, I'm serious. It's me. I thought you were playing a crank call. He says, no. I said, which Gandhi? He said, I thought you were offering me Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, the frontier Gandhi. Because he was 6 feet 2, I'm 6 feet 2. I was 110 kilograms then. He says, go to a dietitian tomorrow and lose at least 20 kilos. And in a matter of 2.5 months, I lost 27 kilos and I played Gandhi. This is a bit of a look test of Gandhi that I played. We opened in South Africa. Every night we would perform for 3 weeks. And it was the experience. We performed all over the world, and suddenly people were taking me seriously as an actor. Actor hai yaar, actor hai. Se malum hai mere ko, malum. Pehle bachpan se malum tha main actor. And then another guy came. Another experiment. I'm wanting to make an experimental movie. This is for 13 years ago. An experimental movie, we're going to shoot it on digital. Digital means your iPhone has better digital quality. This was a handycam. So we're planning to shoot a movie, rehearse and write it for 6 months, and then shoot it in 8 days. So we shot it, and I went and asked the director, Ram Madhvani, who 13 years later made Nirja, okay? And I said, when are we going to release this movie? Oh, he said, I forgot to tell you, we were never going to release this movie. I said, that's fine, same story as Bajirao. But we premiered the film in Ram Madhvani's house. 12 of us watched the premiere, all right? We popped champagne and gave the film a standing ovation. I tell you, that's love for what you do, no matter how big or small it is. And while this movie was being edited, a certain gentleman was watch the edit of this movie in one of the editing rooms. And he saw this clip.
Why wouldn't I do that? The position that I am in, I should be banging things, throwing things, pulling my hair, swinging around. Am I doing anything like that? No.
So he sees this and he says, "Ye actor kaun hai? Usko bulao. Parsi actor hai, bulao mere paas." He calls me home and he gives me a check of 2 lakh rupees. I said, wow. I said, what's this for? He said, what are you doing next year, December? I said, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. What the hell are you doing? Oh, very funny guy. Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the check of 2 lakh rupees. I'm wondering what the hell is going on. He says, I don't have a movie. I don't have a script. But I'm going to promote this movie. And if somebody, when the movie releases, and you decide to do a Hindi film, you won't give me dates. I'm blocking you now. This is 2 lakh rupees for that. The guy's name was Vidhu Vinod Chopra. Okay? All right. 6 months later, he called me and said, Yara, kamal ho gaya, picture mil gayi, script mil gaya, kamal ho gaya, kamal ho gaya. I said, picture ka naam kya? He said, Munna Bhai MBBS. मुन्ना भाई MBBS. I said, story क्या है? अरे यार ये गुंडा है, वो डॉक्टर गुंडा है, वो कॉलेज में जाता है और आपका रोल कमाल का है, हंसते रहता है. I said, what kind of an idiot character is this? I said, it's horrible. I hate the name, I hate the character, I hate everything about what you're saying. So he said, नहीं यार तू मेरा director, मेरा assistant को मिल. I said, now who will go and meet his assistant and all that? And I go and meet this gentleman. Raju Irani. And I told, by then I had a car and a driver, so I said, 10 minute mein aaya. I go up and I don't come down for 9 hours. I meet a guy, birds of a feather should flock together. You meet someone nice, embrace him. Meet somebody with values, embrace him. This is what it's all about. You collect a team of people who are like-minded and who are honest, and there's no more honest man that I have ever met than Raju Irani. And we meet him. And this is, I tell you, he gave me a great lesson. I said, Raju, he narrated the film. He was crying, he was laughing. I was wailing while he narrated the film. I was crying and I was laughing. One line, crying, one line, laughing. And I said, Raju, but I don't understand this one thing. What is this laughter that he's doing? It was very dear to him, this laughter therapy thing. It wasn't therapy then, it was just laughter. And see the faith. He says, don't do it. Don't do the laughter bit. The character should hold on his own, and if it doesn't work for you, be comfortable. To me, that's great HR, honestly. Don't do it. And This movie was supposed to be the launch. It was going to be, the hero was, Munna Bhai was going to be Vivek Oberoi's launch film. 6 months later, while we were in production, Vivek Oberoi walks out and does Company instead. Good luck to him, he was very good in Company. But we didn't have an actor. So we go to Shah Rukh Khan. I said, wow, this is getting better. Shah Rukh Khan suddenly says, I love the name, I love the film, I love everything. And then he knocks off his spine, goes to England for an operation. He couldn't do it. Aishwarya walked out. Kajol walked out. Tabu walked out. Shah Rukh walked out. There was nobody left except me, because they paid me, right? And then we got a 44-year-old guy to play a student, Sanjay Dutt. We made the movie in a record time, in a record budget. And I did 2 takes. The first take, I would do with the laughter, for Raju's sake, and 1 take without the laughter. So we do the scene and no laughter. And I said, I need to be convinced why I'm laughing. So we came up with laughter therapy, the idea. You can't do anything for effect. And after three scenes, he says, you finished the laughter bit, now you do the without the laughter bit. He says, no. I said, no. I'm convinced of the laughter. We keep it. And he says, I knew you would. I needed to give you that leeway. Otherwise, if you had not done the film, that would have not been nice. I needed to make you comfortable. And he allowed me that because he had faith in the actor. If you have faith in the actor, and then maybe faith in the role, but first faith in the actor, always, always. I don't know if this is a message that's coming across to you guys and what we have got to say today. So we did Munna Bhai. Munna Bhai flopped. Munna Bhai flopped. Believe it or not. I'm telling you, on day 1, no, you're not listening to me. Munna Bhai, Raju calls me up from the theater and said, Boman, picture hit ho gayi aapki. It's a very filmy style. Aapki picture hit ho gayi yaar. I said, kya baat hai yaar, houseful hai? No multiplexes those days, right? Nahi, houseful nahi hai. I said, houseful ke board pe wo haar lagao yaar. He said, no. So, kitne log hai? 80% full? He said, no. He said, he started counting. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said, Raju, what kind of black, sick humor is this? He says, no, Boman, people are laughing and people are crying. And that's the kind of movie I wanted to make. I don't care whether it makes 100 crores or nothing at all. I used to go to watch the movie. Every night. I would go from my studio to my shop. I would pull down the shutter of the shop, then drive home at Maratha Mandir. I would go and stand in the last row and watch all the scenes and then go home and feel so sad in the first 2 days, 3 days that there were no crowds in the theater. It was so heartbreaking. And I came out and I stood on the pavement and I was staring into space. There was a lady sitting on the pavement and she looked at me. Hey, Mamu. Tu Mamu hai na? Haan. हिट हो गई आपकी पिक्चर। बोले कैसे? पिकअप होगी, वो एक दूसरे को बोलेंगे, लोग आएंगे, ये बहुत कमाएंगे हम लोग। बोला हम लोग? मैं ब्लैक करती हूँ ना। I immediately called up Raju, man. I said, Raju, अपनी पिक्चर हिट हो गई, सचमुच? He said, हाँ. I said, when she said Mamu, I realized you're connecting with the character. And that was it. 27th of December. By the 31st, the nominations were out. And people wait for the whole year for the nominations. And here I'm in, suddenly, yeah, I'm nominated, man, yeah. And 6 days after that were the awards. I couldn't believe it. Suddenly, from a guy who's standing behind a theater and saying, kya yaar? And I'm looking back at my life and all the times that I've fallen and all the times that I've stood up again, I'm saying, hey, this is quite nice. Awards don't mean anything, actually. But at that point of time, they mean a lot, especially to my mom. She loves it, She really loves it. Are you nominated? Yeah, oh, very good, you'll win. I said, no, not for this movie. Because my wife said, if they give it for you for this movie, don't accept it. You were terrible. Comes the day of the awards. And there I am, standing on stage with Arshad Warsi. And I'm rehearsing for something the night before at 12 o'clock. And Arshad, while rehearsing, said, so what are you wearing tomorrow? I said, what do you mean? He said, you need to wear a suit. You're nominated. And you might even win. I said, I don't know. There are very many important people nominated. He said, no, you got to get yourself a suit. I said, no. I'll go and buy a blazer from somewhere. No. He said, he called one of his filmy guys. He'll charge me 50,000 rupees for a suit. I don't have that kind of money. So he calls up masculine tailors. And he calls him in the middle of the night and says, Naresh bhai, suit banane hai. 24 घंटे में, 24 hours. किसके लिए? एक्टर है, नाम क्या? बमन ईरानी. नहीं सुना नाम. कौन है यार? कौन है? नहीं, मेरे टाइम नहीं. So I'm saying, no, forget it, no. And he says, कौन से पिक्चर में? मुन्ना भाई. मुन्ना भाई में? मैं मुन्ना भाई बहुत टाइम देखे, रोज देखता हूँ रात को, रोज देखता हूँ. तो प्रोफेसर, अरे वो मामू टकला, अरे मैं बहुत बड़ा फैन है उसका यार, मैं उसका सूट बनाएगा यार. And I'm feeling so elated that I have a fan in a tailor. I said, so happy. I said, yeah, I'll make a suit. To hell with it. Whatever it costs, I'll pay in installments, but get that bloody suit made, man. So Arshad says, master ko bhejo measurements ke liye. Saying, time nahi hai. Saying, how will you make the measurements? He's saying, mere paas pirated DVD hai. मैं उसको फ्रीज फ्रेम करूंगा, पॉज करूंगा. हाइट क्या है उनका? 6'2". मैं ऐसे मेजर करूंगा 6'2", फिर प्रोपोर्शनेटली जो ऐसा छाती का, पेट का, टांग का सब मेजरमेंट्स लूंगा प्रोपोर्शनेटली, और मैं कल लोकेशन पे सूट भेजूंगा. आई एम स्टैंडिंग बैक स्टेज लाइक आई वॉज वेटिंग बैक स्टेज टू मीट यू गाइज. It's a wonderful feeling to be welcomed, to applause, and I love it. I'm not going to deny it. I love the lights. I love the applause. You know, I'll not deny it. And I'm waiting, and the nominations are being read out, and I'm wearing my pants there, and I'm tucking in the shirt there. I'm wearing this silly, ugly tie, and I'm saying to myself, hey, what if they announce and I'm not ready to go? I mean, this is not happening. This is not happening. And Prem Chopra comes on stage. And he starts the nominations. And I'm still tucking in my shirt. And I'm still wearing some shoe and whatnot. And he says, and the best supporting actor goes to Boman Irani for Munna Bhai MBBS. And I come running on the stage. I trip. I fall. I'm on all fours. I'm crawling up like a cat, much like I've done throughout my life. Much like I've done throughout my life, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't tell you, I'm shaking as I'm saying this because I was so nervous. I didn't want to be dirty because I didn't know if there any dust. So I dusted myself and I came running out from backstage and I received, ladies and gentlemen, my first award. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being a wonderful audience. The rest of my story, you know. Thank you very much. जरा ऑडियंस का भी फोटो लो. मैं मम्मी को दिखाऊंगा, स्टैंडिंग ओवेशन मिला रोज रोज. लेना फोटो, मेरा क्या लेता है. I thank you so much. Darling, I've got one more thing to do.
I know, that's what I was just checking with them.
Oh, I thought.
And I was just going to tell the audience there's more.
Thank you so much, yeah. Okay, we sit down. We'll stand up again, no problem. Okay, Kumar. Mohan, just give me a sip of water, please. All right. We sum up this session. It went over time. I'm sorry. Sandeep has left the building. No problem. He's worried about the next session. It's okay, man. It's okay. I'd like to end this session, with your permission. I'd like to sing you a song. Well, it's a song that's very, very dear to me. It's a tribute to you guys. You know, you guys in this room, you've achieved whatever you've achieved in a particular way, and you've led your lives in a particular way. And everyone has their own method or technique or set of principles and ethics to get to where they get. And this song kind of encapsulates all of that. So, you know, if you put down your phones, you know, honestly, if you put down your phones and soak in the moment. There was a lovely picture on the internet of youngsters recording something and an older lady enjoying the moment. Yeah, stick to that. It's nice, trust me. It's a great song. It was voted the song of the millennium. It was made famous by Frank Sinatra. It's called, as I said, about things you do my way. It's called My Way. And it's a beautiful song. The music is great. Singing is okay, I'm singing it. And that's not important. Even if I crack, it doesn't matter. Off key, no problem. I'd like you all to hang on to the words, because it's a story of all of us. Okay? And if you know the song, and when I give you a signal, sing the chorus with me, you'll enjoy it. Enjoy this moment, ladies and gentlemen, as I enjoy singing it for you. Let's play and sing My Way. Thanks very much. A little reverb. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I've planned each chartered course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this. Sing with me. I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced them all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed, I've cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he is not to say the things he truly feels. Another word, someone who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. The record shows I took the blows
I don't think there's anything that I can say other than the fact that the truly most inspirational stories are the real stories. And coming from somebody who's so supremely talented and so loved, I think it was a pleasure and an absolute honor to have you with us today. Thank you so much for sharing that slice of life of yours with all of us. As a token of our appreciation, we want to give you this before you go away. All our speakers get it. It's somebody in action.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, one more thing before I go. 30 seconds. My mother has been a great inspiration in my life, and she's even today, everything I do, she wants an account of, like all Parsi moms. She wants an account. Where are you going? Who, what, Nasscom, acha, okay. Which city, Chennai. And she'll take the full hisab kitab. And she does something really wonderful when I go in the morning, and she gives me 1 rupee when I take a flight for pocket money, saying, I can't afford you anymore. She says 1 rupee for within India and 5 rupees when I go abroad. and she's so wonderful. She's really helped me to cultivate my love for the movies. She keeps sending me to movies every day when I should have done homework. She said, go watch movies, they're beautiful. And I know no mother, no single mother who wants a son to be educated. That's HR for you, all right? And she always says something very cool when I leave the house, especially when I go and meet her in her room. And it's a single word, and I feel nice as a 56-year-old grandfather. She says, okay, see you, sparkle. I just love it, you know, it's very dear to me. And when I go back tomorrow, she'll want to know the whole hisab kitab of what happened, you know. Who was there, who did they give you, and all that. Okay, standing ovation. Yeah, lovely. So, oh, very good. My son the pimp, my son the pimp here. And she'll ask me 2 questions, 2 very, very important questions, very dear to me. And she'll say, show went off well. I said, yes, Mom. Did they show you love? I say, yes. And did they show you respect? And I'll say, yes. I want to thank you all for allowing me to tell my mom that you showed me love and respect. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. I'm going to give you a small task before you go.
Where?
On the chair.
I'm shaking.
You were so good. What a pleasure to hear you.
Bye-bye, everybody. Okay, what we'll do first is, oh God, this
Okay, so first the Nasscom team gets to take the first picture. So I'm going to organize this for all of you. So can I get the Nasscom team up on stage, please?
I'd like a picture myself. Okay, I want to say something.
Here's your mic.
I want to say something. You know, whichever city any performer, any speaker goes to, this has been the best crowd, and most of the time they're lying. They're like, oh, I love you, Toronto, I love you, this, and all, bull. I have never gotten emotional in one of these speeches, never. And I'll tell you, this was the best presentation I have done, and it's thanks to you. I promise you this, I'll not lie, I don't lie. Wait, someone's gone. Wait now, darling, wait now.
Guys, I think there's a Nasscom picture first that needs to be taken, the Nasscom team, because they're leaving to Delhi. So I'm going to just get that done. Yes. Okay, guys, we'll do this one at a time. Can we organize it so it's not chaotic? Hold on. Okay, so now we're going to organize this. I don't think we can do single selfie, so we're going to do a group selfie. We'll finish the group picture first, and then Sangeeta and Sandeep left because they have a flight at 6:30. So this is the rest of the team. There is, he's somewhere. Okay, thank you. Now,